Thank you. Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Srimadananda Tirtha Bhagavat Padacharyobhyo Namo Namah. Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Sthititolaya Niyati Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste. Yo Vipralimba Viparita Matiprabhudan Vadan Rasya Kritavan Bhuvidatvavadam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipata Kantamanandatirthamunivayam Namami Ujjaya Rahavendraya Satyadharmarataya Cha Pajatam Kalpavrikshaya Namatam Kamadenave Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavatidamastu ma Vishvidavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome friends once again to the last segment of the first only of Kathopanishad. We have seen few mantras in between. Some of us might have heard it in the recording, some of it might not have. Just a brief recap of, to proceed for the mantra number 26, and we will just give sort of a recap. See, Yama is trying to entice Nachiketa with so many things that is not available in this earth. That is available in this earth, but with effort. Effortlessly to get all these benefits, which is otherwise not available in the earth, only it is available only with the effort. He offers so many inducements. So many inducements that any normal human being who is living in this world will fall for. Because there is no way a person can't fall for any of the benefits that Yama has offered. In fact, he has tried all the tricks not to answer the most important question of what happens to the body, what happens to the soul after the death of a body. And what is the sort of a relationship of the soul and the primordial power or the consciousness, what we say, and the earth, Prithvi, or this entire universe. What is the relation and what exactly happens to the soul is, trying to have its equation with all the three elements. What is the final outcome of a soul's entire effort in this world with this body? This is what he wants to know. Yama is trying to dissuade Nachiketa from asking this question, as well as trying to give him inducement so that he doesn't have to answer this question. This we have seen last week itself why Yama has to do this. After all, because he has come all the way away and all the way up to the Swarga. He has come here, he left his body, and he has to get back and get his body once again into the earth. Let us understand the context in which he is there. It's only for a brief while. It is only for a few seconds in terms of our own estimation of time. But within that, why is giving him so much inducement not to answer? Because if the person who is taking it is flippant, he is not able to really get the understanding. It could be a double-edged sword. It can spoil the whole earth. The wrong knowledge will be spreading all over the earth. So when we say dharma, dharma is the one which is supposed to impart the right knowledge. Why? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuktanam adatmayam. When the avatara takes place, when dharma, the right understanding doesn't come into this world, when the wrong understanding is proliferating everything, then the avatara takes place. Because only with that only the entire cycle of the birth and death, entire cycle of the creation, entire cycle of the dissolution, everything can take place in order. There is a divine order. The divine order, which we don't know. We think we are individuals and all, because we are individuals with the fleeting presence. But the soul has got a long-standing presence, which we don't understand. We see only this body as a presence, and we grieve over the body, and we do about everything and all. In this context only, he is giving all the inducement like Satayushaha. You will be living for 100 years, if not more also. Subsequently, he says, Putra Prautran Vinishva Bahun Pashun Hasti. You will get, because lot of wealth in terms of pasus, you will get the elephants. Elephants are considered to be the prized possessions. And as well, Hiranya. Hiranya is nothing but gold. Hiranya, Ashwan, all those things, he says. Hiranya does have a specific meaning, because normally we have got the two great, the Daityas, Rakshasas, who are supposed to have given, the entire trouble to the devas, and for which, the avatar has taken place. One is Hiranyakashipu, one is Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Both of them are brothers who were Jaya Vijaya in the earlier, because they were the gods of the Vaikuntha. Because of a curse, they have to take this birth. Hiranyakashipu, in the sense, who is always having head loaded with the desires. Hiranya is the gold. You always think of gold, wealth, and the pleasures, everything. That is why the name has been given as Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyaksha, in the sense, you only see what is beneficial to you, what is the desirous to your welfare. That is how Hiranyakashipu in the Hiranyaksha is who is carrying all the desires in the head. Hiranyakashipu is that who is always seeing the desires in everything what he sees, in every object. So when you have to become from the Daitya to Deva, you will have to come from you will have to give up the Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha in us. And we will have to come to the Devik. That is why the Narasimha Avatara was taken place. So that to bring the human being from this with all his desires, to know that it is only ephemeral, they are all transitory, they are not going to last. That is why the word Hiranya has been used to represent to the gold as well as all the desires indirectly. The Hiranyan Ashwan, he gives him horse to go everywhere and all. Bhume Mahat Ayatanam, because you get Mahat Ayatanam, because he is Anu, because he is subtle of the subtlest. To know the Lord, it's very difficult. He is in your Guhyam, he is in your heart of hearts. He is rather enabling you to do everything. You are not able to get through to him because you are not into the inward journey, you are on the outward journey. Prapanchopasamam, what we have seen in Mandukya Upanishad, the entire world with all its attractions. Jagrati, because that's what Chinmayananda used to call Jaga Jaga iti Jagrati, which is all bright and it takes away, you are getting enamored of all the lights and sounds, the light and sound, the entire action takes place, you get into this. You don't have any time to get back into your internal journey. This is for Mahat Ayatanam with so many things, and you are almost a king of the world. In King of the World, Ayati was supposed to be a king of the world. We talked about Ayati. Ayati almost had the entire, the world available to him. And finally, because he was given a long life, he desired. He was given, he will not become old. Like, earth, we become old. But he will not become old. He can have his pleasures to the hill till he wants. Despite that, he didn't want to get into the all because he didn't find any meaning after a period of time. What is the purpose? I want to go have it. I don't want it. That is what. In between that, because of this ayatanam, all these things, why do you want to ask these questions? I am giving you everything. And these things, without effort, you will get it. In the world, in the earth, you will have to take effort for everything. To become a millionaire, you will have to take the effort. And you want to have, the achieve the best of film, you have to get the effort. And if you want to have a big harem and all, you would have to take effort. But all these things, without any effort, you can get it as long as you want. If you think, your lifetime is not enough, you can have further also. That is what next is giving him all those things. Because he is not finding any reaction from Nachiketa. With so much of inducements, anyone would fall for it. He is not falling for it. He is just listening to him as if he is a stone. Nothing is working on him because he is at a level, Vairagya level, it is 100 out of 100. His Vairagya quotient is 100 out of 100. That's what Chinmayananda says. So that is the level he said. This is exactly what Vivekananda has also taken, and he has mentioned in one of his speeches when he has said, when you go to the highest power, you will not be asking for a trifle thing. You will not be asking for teeny weeny things. You will be asking for something which is higher, which is not available, which you can achieve through body, mind, and intellect. You will be asking for that. That is what you will be asking for that. You will not be asking for all these small things because these are all small things at that level. But till such time you attain that level, all these things have a meaning for you to live in this world. Because everyone is having it in ample. They are enjoying the life. You also want to have a good life with your family and all. This is what it is. So in this only, yes, and even if you think, it is not sufficient, etat tulyam yati manyase, if you think, it is not sufficient, I will give you furthermore. Vittam, because unlimited wealth I will give it to you. Vitta Mantralaya, like entire Vitta Mantralaya of all the countries, all the world will be with you. Even IMF will be with you. This is what World Bank will be with you. That is what he says. Chirajivikam ta, because you can live long life. Chirajivikam, it is without any disease. without any discomfort, without any disability. You can have a robust health and enjoy the life without any effort. He is giving all those things. Mahabhumau. Nachiketas Swamevidi. Kamanam na kamabhajam karomi. If you think, some of the desires I have not covered, you can have those desires also. He gives everything. Still, he finds no reaction from Nachiketa. What is that? This man is unassailable. I am giving him so much inducement. So he uses the last trump card. Because anyone will fall for it. He uses the term called ye kama durlabha matyaloke. Because whatever pleasures that is not possible in this world, which is possible only in the Swarga. Why everyone wants to go heaven? In heaven, you don't become world. You have everything, you can enjoy as long as your punya is there. After that, you are being kicked back to the earth. Till this time you can be there. So he says, you don't bother about it. Ye kama durlabha matyaloke sarvan kaman chandataha prartayascha. If you want anything else, you please get it. You just ask for it, I will give it. It is yours to be taken. And ima ramaha sarataha saturyaha, we said, because even whatever you want, you don't have to effort to go and get it. Even if you want apsaras, anything, they will be brought to you at your doorstep. And you will be given the pleasant ambience, all the musics and all the pleasant music and whatever you want, it will be available at your beck and call. In spite of the na hridisha lambaniya manushi, if you think, because whatever you are having, this life is not sufficient to have all these things, you need some more time. Lambaniyaha manushe, you can just have as much life as possible. So this is where, because we will see the next answer, what is he going to give. That is one of the finest answers nowhere, we can find in any of the scriptures, in any of the religions across the world. That's what we will see. Because these are all the prelude. In spite of all these things, Abhirmat Padabihi Paricharyasva Nachiketa Maranam Ma Anuprakshi. He says, because everything will be served on your table. Paricharyasva. You don't have to take any effort. You sit in your table. Like everything, like your Swiggy and other things, everything will be delivered to you. You don't have to take any effort. Marunam Manapraksha. Don't ask about that Maranam. The Maranam is not only about the dead, it's also about those who are dying, that is the living beings. The living beings are also about meaning. Why is he telling that? That we will see, in a sort of a minute, when he gives the answer. Because Maranam is, as we just for the purpose of recap, we said, because we don't understand, we don't realize there are a lot of deaths takes place in our body. A lot of cells are getting decayed, they are refurbished. The cells are getting spliced up and the goes off. The dead cells grow and they go off, like your hair and your skin. Your skin also gets peeled off, because you don't know, like a snake. A lot of our skin, gets grown again and again. We don't know. Everything is taking place, but we are not aware of it. We are only see the externally what we think who I am, because we have got the me and mine that is attached to the soul, and we see in that perspective only. So then he comes to that, when he asks all these things, then the response comes from Nachiketa, who has not reacted to all these inducement for which everyone would have fallen for. Because then we will say, because this answer, we'll take, some more scriptures to explain. The answer is so emphatic, so evanescent, which cannot, such a exalted reply a young boy of 7 years could give to the Lord, who is the Lord of the highest knowledge and who is the one who is controlling the birth and deaths in this world. To him he said, it is the mantra number 26, which is in your page 32. In that it is there. Shvabhavo matyasya yata antake yetat sarvendriyani jaraitam tejaha. Swabhava, all these things are ephemeral. So, because by then they are all decaying. Whatever you are telling, because Ayatanam, Hiranya, Hasti, Pashunam, Putra Pautra, everything, because they are all supposed to be ephemeral. And he says ephemeral, why it is ephemeral? Because they don't have any sort of their own, like a soul or like, the primordial power, they don't have the existence forever. It is not infinite. They have got a finite. You can elongate the time. Still, finally, they have to be finite. There is an end. When we say Maranam is a Mara is called anything that can have an end is called Mara. Maranam is whatever is having a Mara, Maranam. That is when we say Rama, The Ramanama, when he says it is going against Mara is being replaced with Rama. That's how Valmiki has to sort of do the Rama Japa, and he became a Brahmarishi because of that. Rama is against that. It doesn't have any. You are reciting the name for which there is no end at all. It is everlasting. It is only the infinite thing. Infinite thing, you don't have any limit for infinite. Infinite is more infinite and infinite par excellence. It is to the hilt. Beyond that, there is nothing. It is a transcendence to the highest level. That is exactly the Shwa Bhava Martyasya. Because in this material world, everything has to have an end. Without end, nothing is there. Why it is saying that? Sarvendriyanam Jarayanti Tejaha. All those indriyas, all five senses, all jnanendriyas, all karmendriyas, everything and all, they will get weared out. Even if you are given a long life, everything and all, they will wear out. And if you are, and why they are telling wearing out and all? It is the undisputed everlasting truth ever said in any of our scriptures. Like, if you go to the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, the 13th mantra very clearly says, Dehinam asmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. Because like, everything, Dehino asmin yata dehe, because like, whatever body, kaumaram yavanam jara, because like, the infancy, middle age, and, this old age, when it all comes, when they all come and go, there is a death of infancy, there is a death of teenage, there is a death of middle age, and there is a death of old age also, because you become a super senior like that. But we don't recognize that. Like all our cells are getting refurbished, replenished, 2 million cells are every day being replaced. We are not aware of it. Someone is doing that. Order is not known to us. The divine order is not known to us. Dehinam asmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara praptihi dhirastatra na mruhyati. That's why they don't mind. You don't worry about the cell, which has been replaced. You don't worry about haircut. Once you go to the barber and he cuts so much of hair, dead cells, which is going out over you don't bother about it. In fact, you feel very happy. Look, now you are looking much better. Once it grows again, you go and give it. So when you are giving it up, you are not having it. This body is also like that. Why you are grieving over the body? This is exactly this. It's very difficult for us to see. But he says what you are experiencing, what you are not aware, the concept is present to you, and it has been already made known to you. But you are not aware. You are not taking awareness of it because you are going by the ways of the world, where you will be looking different, where you will be being considered to be different. Because these are all the things happening in this world. That is why it is happening. So then this is where exactly why, even if you are going to, because this particular mantra, when he says next thing, Abhisarvam Jeepitam Alpameva, Abhisarva Jeevitam Alpameva, in the sense, whatever longest life you give it to me. Even eon, they call E-A-O-N, eon. It's a kalpa, we call it kalpa. Kalpa is 1 day of the Brahma. 1 day of the Brahma is 432 crores of 432 crore years, 4.32 billion years of life. Even if you are given, it is alpameva. Because it is nothing, it is a short, it is not to experience what you are not going to experience the infinite. You are going to experience the finite things. This is what it comes to about. You are telling me, you are giving me long life, the wealth, unlimited, it will be available to you. Pleasures unlimited will be available. At beck and call, it will be served. I don't have to take any effort as in this world. What is it, the life for? Or what are you going to take? This is where this exactly, this entire thing, comes to about. That, the attachment or detachment, whatever you do, because this is what Vivekananda said, a king can live like a king, without attachment. A beggar can live like a beggar with all the attachment. So for him, it is like a king can who unattached, like Janaka is a king, he is a Rajarishi. He didn't attach, he knows he was to give up, because he, in fact, he has not taken anything. He has only been serving his people everywhere. And he only wanted to see that, because he was only interested in the knowledge sharing. And he is a Rajarishi. He doesn't have any attachment to any of those things. This is exactly when Gita says, we understand and all. Gita is not a retirement plan. It is a plan of action for the entire life, in the sense you do everything. You participate in everything. You want to become a CEO, you become a CEO. You try for that, you work for that, but don't get attached. Because what is the purpose you are going by becoming a CEO? What do you think? You think you will be able to contribute to the welfare of the group of people in the group of the organization or the country for which you are living in, and that should be the attitude. By becoming a CEO, I will get a car and I will get a bungalow, I will get a chauffeur who will come, and all those things, they will not transient. If you are attached, you will find those things will go off in any time. So when it goes off, when you hand over your charge, and even the clerk or the peon there, will not respect you the moment you hand over the charge, because you are out, someone else is coming to take your place. Likewise, but when you are there without attachment to all those things, but you are there, you will be able to make some changes. That is what the leadership quality. The leadership quality, what you are going to do is to bring about a change. How is a Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, who was a small-time barrister, and who was having all the infallibilities like every one of us. He has not been delineated as a demigod in any of his the autobiographies or biographies written about him. He had all the infallibilities what we have. He was not infallible. He's not a godlike. But then every time he was reflecting upon everything, it made a change. And he went around the country, he got the changes. There was a change in him. It got affected. And not only that, he was trying to evolve continuously. And he has not given up. Once you have determined to get a concept and follow that concept, he followed that to the hilt. In all our cases, we are also having, we are also observing a lot of things. We determine, we will do, we will resolve. We will also try to have a life like that, because we will try to sort of, see, because what best we can do and all. But we are not able to hold on. That is why a simple verse, which Tamil verse, சொல்லுவது எல்லோருக்கும் சுலபமாகும், சொன்னபடி நடப்பவர்கள் மிகவும் சொற்பம். சொற்பம் in the sense almost nothing. So many, because there are some people who get that concept into them, get idea into them, to live up to this ideal, come what pain. This is Nachiketa. This is exactly what has happened to the great leaders who have gone about it. Why? Because Abhi Sarvam Jivitam Alpameva. Then he says to Yama, Taveva Vahas Tava Nritya Gite. You keep all these, all these vehicles, all these rathas, all these Nrityas, Gitas, Apsaras, everything you keep it with you. Even if you are going to give me Alpameva, even a Kalpa, life of a Kalpa, 432 crores years of life, 4.32 billion years of life, a day of Brahma, even if you own Kalpa, you give it to me, it is nothing, it is nothing. It is a chart in terms of, the knowledge and the experience and what I am going to get. Not only that, he comes to the next level. In the next mantra, he goes to the extent, having come here and having seen you, should I do it? Because this is exactly, this gives not only the philosophy, it gives it, it also gives it. When we know so many impermanent things that are taking place in our body around us, we are also seeing how things have changed. The man who is a millionaire, is no longer a millionaire. He becomes to the ground. He comes no time. It happens. We are seeing with our own eyes. Still, we don't believe in that, because we think, to be a millionaire is something, because you can do that. After all, it is that. The purpose which we are doing is for the ideal with which you are doing it, that is going to be matter. When you are not going to be attached in the sense, it's not that you are not going to have. You will have to live like a king, but think like a sannyasi. That's what they say. Sannyasi in the sense, don't get attached. Everything is going to, because entire the family, friends, everything and all, we will all be here, we will all be making the life wonderful. But it's all like, kashtancha Samyetam Parasparaha. It is like a floods. We have come together in this life, in this world and all. We have made a change, we have got it. And from that, we have got the experience, accumulated the knowledge. Oh, that is going to help us in the future, because that is going to be the permanent. But then, to get attached in the sense, to get attached to things of comfort, the things of pleasure, they are not going to be important at all. So this is have been brought about in most of our scriptures differently. For instance, there is an instance in Ramayana where Bharata, is nowhere in the picture till such time he came back and he didn't know what has happened. Everything has happened in his absence. He has gone to his Nana's place, mother's father's place, it is supposed to be in Afghanistan as per the Valmiki Ramayana and the geography at that point of time. There he was, given all sorts of, the training, how to administer, how to be a good sort of a soldier, he had everything and all. When he came back, he didn't know, he was oblivious of what has happened and all. But finally, when his mother told him that Rama is going to be sent for 14 years and you are going to be the king. And she thought, he will take it on a platter. He will be so happy. The mother has brought it to me on a platter, like Yama has said. Paricharayasya, without effort, it's being given on a platter. You just see the comparative statement. But there was a Nachiketa in Bharata. He was just shivering. What is that you have done? Is it that I do need? And to whom you have done? You have done to the primordial power who has come in the form of a Nara. And he is the eldest brother and he has got everything and you have done to them. This has been celebrated so wonderfully by Kamban. He says, தாயுரை கேட்டு தாதை உதவிய தரணி தன்னை தீவினை எண்ண நீத்து சிந்தனை முகத்திற் தேக்கி போயினை என்ற பொழுது புகழினோரோ தன்மை கொண்டால் 1000 ராமர் நின் கீழ் ஆவரோ தெரிய நம்மா. See, Nachiketa's quality, you cannot explain better than this, than Kamban. When the mother has got தாயுரை கேட்டு தாதை உறவிய தரணி தன்னை தாயுரை கொண்டு தாதை உறவிய தரணி தன்னை, his father has to give the crown to him based on his mother's insistence. தீவினை என்ன நீத்து, this just I don't deserve, it should not have been done, it should have been the appropriate person, he is the primordial power who has come in the form of, he should have got it. தீவினை என்ன நீத்து சிந்தனை முகத்திற் தேக்கி போயினை என்ற பொழுது புகழை நோய் தன்மை கொண்டால் 1000 ராமர் நின் கீழ் ஆவரோ தெரிய நம்மா. Even 1000 Rama's qualities will not match your one act of giving up that entire crown, entire wealth, everything and all. This is exactly the quality Nachiketa is having. This is, of course, the poetic diction, poetic license the Kamban has used to highlight the greatness of Bharata. See, that simple act is oblivious of entire thing. He doesn't know whatever it is. Suddenly someone comes and tells you are going to be the emperor. It is being given to you and all. He has not taken it just like that. As Nachiketa has not taken when everything has been given on a platter without any effort. This is the wonderful simile and example that brought about what Nachiketa and Bharata, they all had the common. And that is the quality, not what Nachiketa says, Nachiketa, when he says not only for me, it is for the entire mankind. So Nachiketa, when he says it is just not for him, he wants the entire mankind to have this quality. Because Swayambhu Manu, he is the first being, from whom we have all come. He is like, the Adam, as they consider it. And the difference between us, we don't have any commandments. We don't have any Adesha. We all have Upadesha. Why Upadesha? Upadesha is to trigger, to elevate you, to get into a higher dimension. Like a Nachiketa, like a Bharata, you get into, because all these ephemeral things are of no meaning to you, because these are all the things that you will encounter every time when you have the human form. When the soul comes with the human form and it gets attached and comes into this world, you will have it. But from there, you will have to elevate, you will have to transcend the body, mind and intellect. That's what being said about. So this is exactly, because it's being reflected in the very many slokas of Gita and all. In fact, that's what we said, Dehinu asmin dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara prapti dhiras tatra nam ruhyati. Because they are not bothered about either the living or the dead. They know these are all the process in which you are elevating yourself. This is the process. The life what we are undergoing is a process to elevate us. Nichocha bhavam gataha, which Madhvacharya has said, your seed quality you are going to realize to its full potential. For that, the God has given us an opportunity and he is going out of the way to help us in every way. But are we going to take it? So this is where the enticements didn't mean any meaning, as I told. Even now, because we can say it is not only, because in the end, it has happened, those who are aware of the history, the present Queen Elizabeth, who is there in the power, she is not the real, the descendants in the lineage she should have taken into. It is her uncle, his father's elder brother, King Edward VIII. He abdicated the throne. He was the real, because the person next to take over is the King of England. In 40s, he wanted to, he had a sort of a committed to a lady, who was a divorcee, American divorcee, Valesa. He wanted to marry her, and because I think the British royal, the courts never allowed him to go for that. There are a lot of debates that took place at that point of time. He finally said, doesn't matter, because if that is not possible, I think I will abdicate the kingdom. The kingdom is not so important to me. Of course, finally he had, certain arrangements done and all. This has happened in the 20th century. So like as Bharata has given, once you know the purpose for which you are committed to someone, you will have to maintain your word. Prana jaye par vachan na jaye. For that he has done that. Then only his niece, the present Queen Elizabeth, who came in the, because she is not a direct heir, she became a possible heir to the throne, and she is the queen, who is then longest reigning queen, and all those things that is taking place. It's not that it has happened in this way. Likewise, these things are of a little importance once we say Jivitam Alpameva. Even if you are going to live for 432 crore years, and it's not like, therefore, Tava Eva Vahas Tava Nirtya Gite, you keep all those things. I don't want anything. Because it's only wonder how a person can give up all this inducement. It is, as we could see, Bharata and Nachiketa had that great quality. Nachiketa had the quality in fullest complement. That is what, his Vairagya, is being 100%. And there Yama found he is the perfect soil for the highest knowledge to be imparted. When you plant a tree, you just tend the soil to see everything, every manure and mineral is available for it to grow. You will not put a coconut grow in a place where it is not likely to come. You will just tend the soil, make it everything. So is a mango grove or even a paddy field. You will have to do everything. Nachiketa had the perfect soil for this. In this, Nachiketa is trying to bring this perfect tendency amongst all the entire human race, so that all of them can be elevated. It's not only for him. This is how it has come about. And coming to that, next, he says 1.1.27, it is the following mantra in the next page. He just continues. Not only, it doesn't stop from there. Na vittena tarpaniyo manushyo. Now, vittena tarpaniyo manushya. Tarpaniyo in the sense we are tarpanam, we give it. Today is Amavasya, we have given tarpanam. What is the tarpanam? To make the Pitrus tripti. Tripti in the sense they are contented. So here I will just add one more thing. Na vittena tarpaniyo manushye lapyasyamahe vittam ashrama chetva. Because this we will explain. Before that, I will just give a small exposition on this tarpanam. What we do it, on this Amavasya, and we will also be doing this. The Mahalaya Paksha will be coming forward and all those things. So when you are giving it, when the soul gets transformed, when it gets into the another body and all, after, your 13 days, because whatever you have to do, you do this, the 13 days, the transformation takes place from Preta to, it gives it to the Pitru, it gives it the Pitru. And one year you do all those things so that it doesn't have any sort of obstruction in get its design, what has been ascribed place, whether he is going to get the mukti, whether he is going to get rebirth, let it happen without any obstruction. Wherever he is to be born, that is what. So this Pitru is supposed to be, Pitruloka is supposed to be in the Chandra Mandala somewhere, because this is what they say. And Aryaman, because one word some of the boys are being named as Aryaman. He is supposed to be in charge of that. He is the son of Kashyapa Rishi and Atithi, and he is supposed to be the brother of Indra also. One of the brother is Upendra. Upendra is also avatar of Mahavishnu. In a different context, he comes. The Upendra is the one finally gets into the elevate into the Vamana avatar and all. So this Pitru, in the sense, whatever we are doing is those who are our forefathers, whatever they are supposed to be getting based on whatever punyas they have done and whatever the great action they have done, there should not be any obstruction. For that, we are doing this Tarpaniyam. Tarpaniyam in the sense Tripti. The Pitraloka, the Tripti is there. So wherever they are born, even if they have got a mukti, there will not be any obstruction in the process of getting their due. That is what we are doing it. So if that is the case, why should we do it? If you don't do it, it is going to reflect on you. Because Pitru Karya is a bounden duty of every human being. Suppose, if I don't have anyone to do, because some person, he doesn't have any progeny or, no one is there and all, don't bother. When so many people are going to do, and all those effects, will also come to you. Even when the Tarpana, when you are doing today, one mantra you may be referring to, but you may be reciting to, you may not be aware of it. Aputra Gotraja, because Mama Kule, Aputra Gotraja, even for them, you give Sutram Nishpishtonodagam, because you take your Janu, this entire, this thread, you just, where the Brahma Mudichi is there, you just put the water and put it, in your end. Because for them also you are doing it. It is not that you are not doing it. Therefore, it is for bounden duty to do, so that you are getting whatever, because it is your duty. Duty, there is no sort of exception for not doing the duty. Like Sandhi, what we do, Pitrukaryam, what we do and all. There is no exception to that. Duty has to be performed, come what may, whatever be the situation. A king has to administer the country. A soldier has to fight for his country. A businessman and a trader has to trade, so that the people get it. It is all the duty. Like the Dvija, for us, we will have to do this. There is no two questions about it. Tarpaniyam, when we say, when Tarpaniyam in the sense Tripti. Anything, once you have a hearty meal, when you get it Tarpaniyam, when you get Tripti, that is a Tarpaniyam. That's why, when see, Annadanam is supposed to be the Sreshta Danam, why it is said, you immediately get the satisfaction. See, after your stomach is full, you won't think of taking one more jalebi or one more laddu and all. It is going to affect your stomach. It is going to cause further problem to you. Once you are full, you are contented. That is why, Tripti is immediately possible when you do the Annadana. So Annadana is supposed to be Sreshta Dana, because where you are able to get the person immediately contented with when you are offering. That's why in all places, all matas, wherever Raghavendra Swami is, this is there. This takes place because the Tripti is available those who deserve to get it and all. That is why, because this is just to remind one more thing, Vipro Vrikshaha Tasya Moolam Hi Sandhya Vedaha. Because, like whatever you may not be reciting Veda Dhyana and all, but even Sandhya, what you are doing, the Veda mantra that is coming in your Sandhya, you will have to perform, that is important. Without that, that is the Moolam. Why? Saka dharma karmani parnam, because this branch is that is dharma. Once you do, the dharma comes from there. When you do, when you recite the Gayatri, your mind gets clean, because Om, Buhu, Buvaha, Suvaha, all three, and then you have got three more lokas are there till Satya Loka. But when you go, you are getting elevated, you are getting into dimension. So naturally, you get elevated every time you do that. So that is why you are bound and duty to do every day. Satya Dharmaha Karmani Parnam, whatever you are doing based on your thought, action, based on your Sandhya, after whatever you do, they will be duty. Karmani Parnam, they are all the leaves. Tasyam Moolam Yatnato Rakshaniyam, because you will have to maintain that vriksha of Sandhya, Vedaha, and whatever, that you will have to do the vrikshaha. Chinne Moolam Naiva Shaka na Parnam. If you don't do it, the vriksha gets destroyed, there is no Shaka, no Parnam. Because no Dharma, and there is no parnam, nothing, you are not going to get anything, and because it is going to be a self-destruction. That is what doing, because you will have to do, it's a bounden duty. While doing it, what they do, Swayadhyaya Pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam, Devaprit Karyabhyam na pramaditavyam. Devaprit Karya also you should not give it up, because it is for your own benefit. Though you are doing it so that there is no obstruction for the Pitrus, it is for your own benefit. Because finally, when you get that particular stage, you will not get any obstruction, and you will have someone to do it for you. Either your own progeny, someone else will do it for you, because it will have to be carried on in a chain, not necessarily a linear chain. It could be a non-linear, discontinuous chain. So many people, when we are doing it for the entire world. A Brahmin, when he does the Sandhya Vandana, not only for his benefit, it is for the welfare of the entire world, the welfare of the entire surroundings. So when the entire, because what we have seen, because all the three stages, Shanti, Om, Shanti, 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 when they say, for all the three, not only for us, the surroundings, as well as for the entire cosmic, the entire, everything gets cleaner. Because Himalayas, so many rishis are doing tapas, what is the benefit they are going to give? The people may ask, have they come and opened up a clinic here? Have they come and done something here? They don't have to. By doing that, they are sending the vibration. That vibration is taking care of the entire human mind to do the right action. That is what is important. So this has been brought about. This is just to Vittena Tarpaniyam, just to Tarpaniyam in the sense Tripti. Tripti in the sense full-fledged contentment. There is no deficiency whatsoever. Manushyo Lamsyamahe Vitam Ashrama Chetva. See, even if you are going to give whatever, I am going to Lamsyamahe, even I will be obtaining, forget about everything. Once I have seen a guru like you, from where, I am going to get the highest knowledge. All these things, whatever is required will be available. I don't have to so many things. What is required for me to perform my duty will be available. That is good enough. So when you see Sandhya and all, when you do it, whatever is required for you to sustain will be available always. You will not be deficient. It will be meeting your greed. It will be meeting your need, not your greed. If you are having greed, desire takes place, and because of the desires you do so many things, then finally it doesn't help you anywhere. Lamsyam hai vittam adrasham che itva. Once I have come into closer to you, jivishyamaha yavat, because as long as you are there, we will not have any difficulty in getting what is needed for us. So why should be asking for all sorts of things which is not in Isishyasi, in the sense because with you being a Lord, you are the Lord. Once I have come into your contact with you, I don't have to think about all those things. I don't have to think about the highest possible knowledge which you are going to give, which is not available elsewhere. The very purpose I have come here will not be, everything will go waste if I don't get it. That's what he is saying. Because that is what once I come, I don't have to worry about wealth, because he seems to be very smart. You don't have to ask for all these trivial things. You will be getting it anyway, because you are in his, when you are having the grace of the God, you will be needing, you will be getting what you need. You don't have to worry about that. Only, if you think, if you are weaning away from the God and look for so many things, then only your problem. Once you are there, you don't have to ask for that. So that's why, because when Swamiji was explaining this concept, in some other context, he was telling when some Indian was asked to, they told he will be able to meet, the President of United States for only 1 minute, 1 second. But you will have to ask only one thing. What is the Indian, he was wondering what to ask. He had got so many things to ask for in the mind. He didn't know, because he's from a North Indian. Normally, he uses kaini, to take, this tobacco, they just take it and all. And then when he was in the presence of the President of United States, he was having kaini chuna hai, because he was asking for chuna. He was asking for a trial severe thing, because he should have asked for something else. So this is, once you are encompassed the entire knowledge of the desires in this world and what you need, what you have to achieve and all, you will be asking for small things. You go to Tirupati and ask for, because I should buy the next house or I should get the next car and all. He is there, to offer you the highest, still highest. He is waiting for you, he is smiling, because by seeing you, you are asking for incorrigible things which he doesn't have any value. You yourself will find will not have any value. You are asking for that. For him, because what is there? You say, I will give you a crown made of 40 crores, worth of diamonds and all. You give it. But he is not going to be, he is not going to take it and all. You are giving for yourself. It will be in the vault of Tirupati, but you are not going to get anything out of that. Nor is he interested in that. He wants you to elevate. Then when, because as the தொண்டரடிப்படி ஆழ்வாசன் ஊரிலேன் காணி இல்லை உறவுமற் ஒன்றுமில்லை பாரிலேன் பாரமுதம் பற்றிலேன் பரமமூர்த்தி ஆருளர் கலையனம்மா அரங்கமா நகருளானி. Because in the sense, I given up everything and finally I have come to this. Why I should go after all these things? This is what it is. This is exactly he is telling in this mantra. So in this mantra is to just emphasize, whatever is being offered will not have any value whatsoever, because the infinite is much more what you can imagine, think and all, because you want to get into this particular mode of knowing, what is that infinite, the primordial power, the Vishnu or Vivishti iti Vishnu, or the consciousness, whatever is the Acharyas have said, then you will find, all these meaningless things will not have any value even if you live for hundreds, thousands of crores of years. So then he comes to the mantra number 28. Next poem, this is basically chooses the wisdom over all the foils and follies and foibles of human life. Ajiryatam amurtanam upetya. See, ajiryatam is because, you say I will not decay, I will not have, my body will not become old. That is one of the things he has said. Ajiryatam amurtanam upetya. What is that? That is ephemeral thing. I may not be decay, but eventually I will have to decay. The senses will have to decay. The body will have to decay. Amurtanam, the immortal, the devas, because they have got, free from entire the liberation, the death, punarmrityu, what we said. Even, once you have got, all those, you have got no more unfulfilled desires, dreams still left with you. And once you have got, that is the amrtatvam. Amrutanam peti, having reached the company of having those masters. Jiriyan, Jaramaranatva, decaying by not receiving teaching about the Lord, because by once to get the teaching of the Lord, because then you are not bothered about the Jaramaranam. This is what, this, there is been famous recital on, the Madhvacharya Harivayu Stuti is there. What you can ask from the Guru. Guru, he is giving you everything. He is the most benevolent. He is giving you everything, because whatever you are capable of, whatever you can get it, he is giving it to you. Whether are you able to take it? This is exactly the question comes. Matar me matarishvan pitra turugalo bratarishtabda bando. He is like a mother of mothers. He is like more compassionate than your father. Matar me matarishvan pitra tulaguro bratarishtabda bando. He is like your kind elder brother. He is trying to tell you. He is telling, because once you have done Swamin Sarvantaratman. So because he is the Sarvana, he is trying to show you. Krishnam Mande Jagadguru, in the sense your Jagadguru shows the Krishna, the Jagadguru. He is showing the way. He is not giving you the commandments. He is giving the Upadesha so that you can work on yourself. And you will be able to see. And once you reach, because when we say Shravana, Manana, Nitidhyasana and all, this we constantly do to get that particular elevation based on the Guru's advice and Guru's Upadesha, we are trying to take it up. But once you reach such a very high stage, we will see even Shravana is enough to get you to that level. It's not that, you will have to Shravana, Manana, Nitidhyasana, you have to go on. That is, you will have to at a lower level. You are in LKG. But once you go to doctorate and you are somewhere in the postdoc level, you will not have to do. Even by mere Shravana, you will be doing it. That's why when Bhajagovindam, once you hear, I think naturally Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate, when you say, once you hear Bhajagovindam, you will give up, all trifle things, in the world. So likewise, because it is coming, Ajiryatam Amurtanam Upetya Jiryam Martyaha Kvadastha Kvadastaha Prajanam. Kvadastaha Prajanam in the sense, Kvadastaha Prajanam, it has got a two meaning. Once you are remaining on the earth, you are just concerned about what is available in this earth and how to get about and all. You will be going about it. Kvadastaha Prajanam in the sense, finally you are trying to find these are all the ephemeral. Kvadastaha. So Prajanan, once you become so wise, once you become so elevated, this doesn't have any meaning at all. So once you have got Prajanan having knowing so qualified and because you have come, that's why you have come near the Yama, and Yama's advice he is getting it. Not only for him, for entire mankind, that we will have to always remember. Because he is taking you beyond that, and then he says Avidyayat Avidyayan, because reflecting over, negotiating, sort of thinking over and understanding over. Once you have got the bliss, you come to, because all these ephemeral transient pleasures have all left you. You are going to get the permanent pleasure. The permanent pleasure, when you are getting it, because how permanent pleasure has been maintained. It's a very simple Tamil song. Tamil poetry is there. Masil Vinayum, Malay Madiyamum, Visu Chandralum, Vingida Venilum, Musu Vandarai, Poigayim Potade, Isan Indan, Inedi Nirali. When you are doing, because such a wonderful settings, when you are there, when you are forgetting everything, you are forget about your own existence. You are existing, that is forgotten. You are in such Masil Vinayum, Malay Madiyamum, Visu Centralum, Vingila Venilum, Musu Vandarai Poihayum. When there is such a beautiful lake, with such a wonderful, all these butterflies are swarming around, and you are such a wonderful, that is the atmosphere where you forget yourself, your existence, and all your, because the worldly beings, worldly possessions and all. That is exactly what he says. Avidyayathan Varnarati Prabodhan. Varna in the, because various colors of the enjoyment which you have said, because they will come Saturiyaha, because they will also get the music, everything, Paricharayasya, everything, they are all nothing in front of that. This is what 7-year-old says on behalf of the entire mankind, on behalf of all of us. He's telling Pramodhan. See, because when it is Pramodhan, what is that? These are all being given up. Pramodhan, pleasures of music, everything and all, these are all trivial things in front of that. Ati Dirgaha, prolonged living, because what is that? Prolonged living, because Koramati. Who is going to get delight in this? Kaha. Ko Ramate and Kaha Rama iti Ramanta iti Ramanta. He is reaching the presence of undecaying and the undying, the knowing that the highest gift can be obtained from the mere elevation of your soul, for which the highest knowledge is available. How a decaying mortal, a denizen of the lower sphere, how we can ask a lower gifts? Will you be asking for because once you are given shown a big place, will you be asking for a small golden toy? You will be asking for something key for the entire palace. That's what you will be asking for if you are meaningful. You will not be asking for that. It is the key to the highest palace, where you will get the eternal bliss. That is what you are going to get. You are not going to get other than that. Who can delight in long life while contemplating the transitory, ephemeral nature of the entire pleasures and other things? This is what he gives. This inducement is not without purpose. It has been given, and we will also see, for this entire, this particular mantra, there has been a beautiful explanation given by Shankara Bhagavatpada. The Ramanujacharya has given another dimension to this explanation, and Madhvacharya has taken it to a different level. We will see all these three explanations for this great mantra, which will be remaining for us forever to know, because not only coming to this, no more inducement can ever wean away from our pursuit for which we have embarked upon this Kathopanishad. With this, today we just try to conclude in this mantra number. We have got 2 mantras to go. That is the 28th, which we have already dealt with the Bhashyas of Shankara, Ramanuja, and Madhvacharya. And the next last mantra is the end of this particular Upanishad. They are also one greatest concept, and there the reference to the Keno Upanishad, Talavakara Upanishad is also going to come. We'll take it. After that, it is all, like Vaishnavi Devi, you are going by all the steps. Now, once you reach the plateau, the second valley is you are going at the doorstep of the Vaishnavi Devi, like that. You are going into that. That will be more wonderful, once we start the second valley. Presumably, we'll just give a brief of the entire first valley next week after the mantra 28 is complete. Week after next, depending upon the functions that will be intervening. So we will be going for the second valley. Thank you. I think with this, we will go for a small meditation. I have also taken one wonderful meditation for curation of entire diseases, be it kidney related or anything else, which is complicated that can be cured. Again, I am taking the wonderful, Suresh and the Ganapatigal who have given that mantra. We will be having a small meditation on it. Thank you. Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Bhunatu, Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi, Tejasvinavatitamastu ma Vishvidavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we will go for the meditation. I will just small meditation we will have.